Well, seems like it's time. It's time to settle the score of 94. In today's episode of No World Problems, we're tackling the legendary bad game, Shaq Fu. Stay tuned to find out more. Roll my logo. It's been 14 years since that day. The day in 94 where it all went so wrong. I was but a young Fu detective on the job. I got a call about a disturbance. And when I went to check it out, that is when I came across it. A scene so horrible that I couldn't find words to describe it. Well, except these words. The victim suffered shock from playing a new game that came out. Shaq Fu. It was horrifying and all orchestrated by one man, Shaquille O'Neal. It was phase 1 of his 3-phase plan to take over the world. The other 2 phases were Kazam and Steel. Luckily, his plan failed. But he's back, and stronger than ever.
Shaq Diesel, baby. Shaq Fu, Legend Reborn. Shaq Fu, you down with the crew? Getting low, Wayne, I'm coming for you.
Shaq Fu, one of the worst video games of all time, produced by EA. EA. I just keep running across your missteps lately. It was the culmination of the popularity of basketball star Shaquille O'Neal in the mid-90s. Along with the 2 movies he had made, he also became a rap star during this era. So he became a quadruple threat. A game character, movie star, basketball star, rapper, and honestly, these were all things he only dreamt of doing when he was a kid. Then one day someone approached him about making games and movies with him as the lead, and he jumped at the chance to follow his childhood dream. Wish not granted. Okay, I'm not saying don't follow your dreams. I'm not saying that. Just don't follow them so hard that this happens. I mean, what does someone have to do to you to make you unleash this upon society? Shaq Fu was a Shaquille O'Neal-based property that was meant to profit from the fighting game market of the mid-90s, with the popularity of Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. Except it was nowhere as good. But as always, I do not want to harp on the bad aspects right off the bat. Let's talk about the good. What little there is. The art of this game isn't really all that bad. It's not that great, but I've seen much worse. I mean, the level backgrounds are fairly detailed and nice to look at. And the character portraits between fights look pretty great, though I'm certain that isn't Shaquille O'Neal's face. I'm pretty sure it's closer to Michael Jordan. And the world map for the story mode ain't that bad either. Though the fighting sprites are a bit, well, to sum it up, Shaquille O'Neal has no face. I mean, look at that, no face! They detailed his shorts and his legs, but I guess Shaquille has no eyes or mouth. But at least in Street Fighter 2, Ken and Ryu had eyes and mouths. And that game came out 3 years before Shaq Fu. But honestly, this might mostly be due to Shaq Fu choosing to have smaller sprites and a larger level design, as compared to Street Fighter's fairly more zoomed in style, but in the end, that choice crippled their ability to make more detailed sprites, which makes them look unappealing to the eye in my opinion. I mean, why does everyone remember Zangief from Street Fighter? It's because of that marvelous patch of chest hair they gave him. And I don't think they could have done that kind of detail in Shaq Fu. If you can't tell, I've already moved on from talking about all the good stuff to the bad stuff, because honestly, that was it really. It's mostly downhill from here. The music in this game is pretty forgettable. In fact, when I did my recent pickup video, I went through all the songs on the soundtrack to play in the background as I talked about the game, and honestly, they were all boring and uninspired. So I literally used the 60-second bit of rap music they used in the trailer for the new Shaq Fu, because at least that sounds pretty freaking awesome. The music uses either a droning tone or a decent beat, but that beat is too short to enjoy as it loops over and over. Now on to gameplay. The gameplay isn't the worst. It's got your typical jump, duck, light punch, light kick, heavy kick, jump kick, so on and so on. Pretty standard, really. So, what about those special moves? Okay, here we go. Shaq's gotta have some kind of Hadouken. He's just gotta. Well, I've done all the typical fighting game moves at this point, and nothing. Okay, enough guessing. Let's look at the moves in the manual. Okay, no. Nothing. There are no fighter moves in the manual. In the Super Nintendo manual, there are fighter blurbs like in Street Fighter 2, but no actual move inputs are shown, unlike Street Fighter 2's manual. And in the Genesis version manual, you don't even get fighter blurbs. And all you do get in the Super Nintendo version is what their favorite move is, but again, it doesn't tell you how to do it. Wait. Shaq's favorite move is the Shaquriken? Okay, enough. Let's go to game FAQs. Thank you to Ryuga for suffering through this game so that I may know how to use the Shaquriken. You're truly a brave person. Okay, after looking through all these moves, they aren't all that hard to do, but with no real instruction, some of these you can't guess. So to pull off the Shaquriken, you push back, forward, back, punch. Again, not hard, but I don't think I've ever had to use that combo of buttons in a fireball attack. Now the moves aside, when you play the game, and I'm just going to assume you're playing this with a computer because you're not inviting your friends over to compete in a Shaq Fu fighting game tournament. When you battle the CPU, honestly, it's hard. Since you're being thrown in blind with no idea how to use your arsenal of moves, you just keep trying to jump kick or duck and kick, while the computer throws every move at you as fast as possible. Basically, I was only ever able to beat the first fight with Kaori, the cat girl. After that, I couldn't defeat the following character. They're just too fast and precise. Or I'm just bad at this game. Or both. But given I have had a massive struggle getting through the story mode, I had to do research to find out the quality of the story, and honestly, it's surprisingly more complex than you'd think, but it's definitely not a perfect fleshed out world like Star Wars or the Marvel Cinematic Universe or Mass Effect. The big bad of the story is Set Ra, a mummy dude. He is the ruler of the Second World, but he just couldn't settle for ruler of the Second World, so he wanted to take over the First World. Honestly, I don't blame him. When even you call your own dimension the Second World, clearly the First World is way better. But thanks to the trickery of some ancient sorcerers, they banished Set Ra to the Second World. And in order for him to break free and re-enter the First World, he has to sacrifice the blood of royalty. Meanwhile, in the First World, in the year of 1994, a young boy, Nezu, is captured by Set Ra's cohorts. Now the last remaining sorcerer has to find the ultimate hero of justice. One who possesses strength, spirituality, courage, agility, intelligence, and unsurpassed skill in martial arts. Enter Shaq Fu, the rookie sensation and master practitioner of the martial arts of Shaq-Ki-Do. So basically, kick the crap out of all the baddies, get to Set Ra, kick the crap out of him, save Nezu, save the multiverse. The end. So there we have it, folks. A review of Shaq Fu, one of the worst games ever made. But I actually have a lot of fond memories attached to this game, regardless of the tragedy that it brought so many other people. Me and my friends on weekends were trying to beat the story mode, and honestly, I don't really remember if we did, but we might have. But if you want to get the better version of this game, if you even want this game, if you're some kind of masochist or something, the Sega Genesis version is the better version. It has more levels, more characters, and it's less censored as the Super Nintendo version. You know, so with Shaq Fu 2, A Legend Reborn on the horizon, all we can do now is wait in a scared anticipation and wait for the return of Shaq Diesel, baby. So after all that, I think it's time to wrap things up. If you want to stay up to date on my Nerd World shenanigans, then hit that subscribe button below. If you liked this video, please give it a like. And if you want to stay notified every single time I release a video, hit that notification bell down there by the subscribe button, and it'll let you know every single time that I upload a video. I'm also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, all the internet stuff. And on top of that, I also have a Patreon if you wish to support me. This is my Patreon. I have one right now. I really appreciate them giving money to me to do stupid things. And if you want to give, you know, money to my cause so I can continue to do stupid things on a more frequent basis, that would be fantastic. Anything you can contribute would be amazing. Especially with, you know, the whole no longer a YouTube partner, can't monetize my own videos, so I'm pretty much doing all this for free now. So that being said, folks, I'd like to thank you for joining me, and I'll see you guys on the other side. And no matter what, just have fun. Bye.